Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode on my YouTube channel, trying to show you some healthier ways to make some changes to your diet. A whole food, plant-based way of eating that I follow. And today I thought I would spend a little bit of time talking about dressings for salads or toppings for vegetables, sauces, different things that I use just about every day to make things taste better, because let's face it, everything tastes better with a delicious sauce. And I like to make all of my sauces and dressings without using oil. For those of you that follow a whole food plant-based way of eating and you're familiar with the no oil component of that, you pretty much know what to do. But for a lot of new people to this way of eating, they don't really understand why we eliminate oil. I'll just give you a shortened synopsis. Oil is just highly processed. There's no nutrient value. It's pretty much pure fat. So a tablespoon of olive oil does not have any health properties. You're better off eating the actual olive instead of olive oil, because it's got the fiber in it. So there really is no, it's kind of a fake news that olive oil or any type of oil for cooking is a health food. So I could do a whole nother episode about how to cook without oil, which is what I do, like water sauteing or using vegetable broth. But today I'm going to focus on making a couple dressings and sauces. So for those of you who follow me on my Facebook group, WFPB with Heidi Cooks Plants, yesterday I showed you a coleslaw that I made for dinner, and I used I made an oil-free vegan mayo that it's the same vegan mayo that I use in my eggless egg salad recipe. So I've already made it. If you look at the second screen on I guess it's on your right, you can see kind of instead of me holding everything up, you'll be able to see my hands working. I thought that might be a better way to do it than try to maneuver, like handing everything up. So this is what's left over from my oil-free vegan mayo that I made yesterday. And I'm going to use that in a little bit, but I'm just going to show you what the ingredients are. And I can tell you, I use a blender cup, like a NutriBullet type cup to blend this. So we start with 1 cup of hemp hearts, or sometimes they're called hemp seeds. I buy this big bag at Costco. I know Trader Joe's also has a hemp hearts in like a bag, and once it's opened, I do keep it in the refrigerator. So this is really the base of the dressing. So we use a cup of that, and then I put in 1/3 of a cup of water, and then I use a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. Everybody should have apple cider vinegar in their house. It's a pretty common thing to have. I use a tablespoon of fresh lemon juice. I didn't pull a lemon out of here, but just squeeze like a tablespoon out of a lemon. You definitely want fresh. And then the seasonings I use are, this is black salt. It's mineral salt. It's also called Kala Namak. It's an Indian black salt. Looks like that. And when you open this up, obviously you can't smell on YouTube. They haven't figured out that technology yet. But it has an eggy smell to it. So you just need a little bit, like 1/8 of a teaspoon. And that's going to give you that eggy smell and taste that you get with the mayonnaise. You also need a teaspoon of ground mustard powder and 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. There it is, onion powder. So I put all of that in my blender cup, my NutriBullet or whatever you have. My Vitamix has a cup, and just, whiz it together, and you'll have this nice consistency of mayo. You can see it's it's like a nice thick mayo. You can, and that'll keep in your fridge for about a week, maybe 5 to 7 days. I usually use it up before then. So I used that to make my coleslaw. So how I made my coleslaw dressing was that I took a half a cup of this mayo, and I added 3 tablespoons of rice vinegar, and you want to get unseasoned rice vinegar. So this one is from Trader Joe's. They do make seasoned rice vinegar, but that's going to have extra flavoring that you don't want. I also used a teaspoon of monk fruit granulated sweetener because I avoid processed sugars. So I just use a teaspoon of that. You could also use date syrup. You just want a little bit of sweetener in there. And then I used a tablespoon or a couple tablespoons of unsweetened plant milk. And again, I just mixed that in a measuring cup, and I also added some fresh ground pepper. So I just mixed that together and then coated my slaw mix. And in my photos yesterday, when I was showing everybody my slaw mix, I did have one other tip that I like to amp up. The bag salad is a great convenience, the bag coleslaw, but it's green cabbage, carrots, a little bit of red cabbage. There isn't much health-wise to it. So I like to ramp up the nutrition in that. And so I took some Napa cabbage and I just sliced it thin, pretty much like the same size of the rest of the cabbage in the bag. And that gives you a lot more greens boost. It gives you there's a higher nutrient content in a Napa cabbage as opposed to the green cabbage or the red cabbage. So doesn't have a strong taste or anything. It just gives you some extra crunch, and the leafy greens, it's just a better nutrition boost. So those are my first two, the mayo and the slaw dressing. And those are super easy to make. Anybody can do it. And I wanted to go back to say the vegan mayo. If you're having a little trouble blending, just add a little bit of water. I started with 1/3 of a cup. And if you think it's too thick and it's not blending really well, just open up the cup and maybe put in a couple more tablespoons, and you'll get the right consistency with it. So those are my slaw tricks. And this mayo is great. I'm going to show you a couple things of how I use that as a base for salad dressing. So sometimes, so I'm going to show you these. I've talked about them before. I think when I did my pantry tour, I showed you the California Balsamics, and I don't work for them. I don't get any commission from them. I'm just a customer from just liking their products, and it's californiabalsamic.com, I think. And they make an entire line of different flavored balsamic vinegars. And this one is one of my favorites, the teriyaki. I order it probably every few months. They always have deals. If you sign up for their email, you get, I know that with every order, you get 2 of these little mini bottles. And these are fabulous to throw in your purse or your pocket. If you don't carry a purse, guys, anybody's watching, put this in your pocket. When you go to a restaurant and you have a salad, or you're having veggies, or you're having something that they're going to make for you, and it doesn't have any sauce, and you don't want to use the oil-laden sauce, pop one of these in your bag. And this one's pear. They come, so you get these little mini ones. You get 2 of these free with your order. And they also have this size. This is like a really nice 3-ounce little travel size. And this Simply Lemon Balsamic on its own That's all you need. It's just like having a fresh lemony squeeze on your salad. And I've taken this in my bag and gone to the restaurants, and nobody knows, nobody cares, nobody's watching what you're putting on your salad. I mean, you may feel self-conscious, but believe me, nobody's watching. And here's another little tip. Sometimes you want a little sweet after dinner, and you don't want cake and cookies. You shouldn't be doing that unless it's a special occasion, a birthday or a holiday. But this is chocolate orange balsamic vinegar. Drizzle a little bit of this on top of some berries. You'll be blown away. You could even do this for breakfast. I make steel cut oats for breakfast. I put some blueberries and some raspberries and drizzle this on top. And you don't need maple syrup. You don't need sugar. You don't need any of that stuff. So another helpful hint, stock up on all these flavored balsamic vinegars. So along that line, if you're thinking about a salad dressing for dinner, and you're kind of like, those first of all, those bottle dressings that you buy in the store, even if they say they're fat-free or they're healthy or whatever, there's got to be oil in them, and they're loaded with sodium. They're loaded with processed ingredients. Make a batch of this mayo, make it like on Sunday, and you have it for the week, because it makes, this is what I had left over after the coleslaw. So it makes, more than a cup. So I'm going to take a couple spoonfuls, show you down here. So we're going to take a couple spoonfuls of this, and this will be our salad dressing for tonight for dinner. And I think I'm going to make let's see, this one. I haven't even opened this one yet. This is 7-herb Italian balsamic, and it probably has one of those. Oh yeah, it's got one of those little things on top. And you can see on top, it's got it needs a really good shake because all of the fresh herbs kind of floated to the top. And when I do this, I just eyeball it. There's really no measurement. I just pour a few, I should do it here, a couple squirts in here. And then take this cute little, these are the cutest little spoons. I got these at Home Goods. They came in a set with spoon and a little brush and everything. Who else loves Home Goods? Raise your hand. Best time waster ever when you go in there. And a few more drips and squeezes in there. And there you have a dressing. I mean, you have this delicious Italian herb dressing, and there's no oil in it. And I'll set that aside because I can put that on my salad later tonight. So I'm talking really fast, right? So we're going to set aside the mayo. And so I mentioned my teriyaki balsamic. So I love I love making bowls, rice bowls or noodle bowls. So this, if I'm going to saute a bunch of vegetables, do like a stir fry, this is if I don't feel like making a sauce from scratch, I just drizzle on this teriyaki balsamic and it makes the dish. So this is it's great on vegetables if you just want to steam some broccoli and drizzle that on top. I mean, I'm all about making whole foods taste really good. So that is another great tip. So on to hummus, because who doesn't love hummus, right? Goes with everything, vegetables. It's a great vegetable dip. It's great for snacking anytime. And so I know a lot of you probably don't make your own hummus from scratch. It's really easy. I've done a couple videos. got a couple recipes out there of making my own hummus from scratch. Here is my hummus that I made on Sunday. It's super easy. You don't even have to make your chickpeas from scratch. You can buy canned chickpeas and make it. It takes about less than 5 minutes with a food processor. It's super easy. And I don't use any oil. So I use lemon juice and seasonings, and I use the aquafaba water. That's the liquid from the cans of chickpeas. Put that in, and a lot of garlic. I put some stone ground mustard in there. So it's really, really great. So one of my kicks has been, I've been super lazy with what I wanted to put on a salad. And I've been making, the last couple of weeks, I've been making these big, like Mexican salad bowls for lunch. And I chop up a lot of romaine and peppers and cucumber and lots of crunchy things. And I air fry some corn tortillas. So I have these little crunchy strips, and I throw in some black beans. And the best thing I have come up with to top it has been, watch this, take some hummus in a bowl, and then I take my favorite salsa in the world from Walmart, black bean and corn salsa. It's mild. It's been the best salsa ever. I love it. And pour a little bit of that on, and you have hummus salsa. You could just use this for chips, like just bake a bunch of corn tortillas. Don't buy store-bought tortilla chips. They're full of oil and fat. But you can bake them in the oven if you don't have an air fryer. Just cut them into triangles, bake them in the oven, 350 for 6 or 7 minutes, and they get crispy. You can even sprinkle some fresh lime juice. So you've got this great, and I use this on top of my salad dressing. That is my salad dressing. So if you don't want to make your own hummus, I get it. It's, you're not real comfortable in the kitchen or whatever reason. So Whole Foods carries this Cider's brand, fat and oil-free. So this is the only oil-free hummus that I have found anywhere. And it's good. It's really good. So if you are, not confident enough to make your own hummus, give the Cider's oil-free one a try. And hopefully, if you don't have a Whole Foods, maybe you can find it in your grocery store, or you could ask your grocery store to start carrying it. That would be fabulous. So that is my quickie. What am I? I'm almost at 20 minutes, so I don't want to keep you all too long. You're going to get bored with me. So that was my quickie: sauces and salad dressings and toppings and vinegars, and all oil-free. And I hope you'll come back. I'm going to try to keep doing this once a week, and I would love to hear your comments and give me some ideas of things that you'd like me to show you. And I hope to see you again soon back in my kitchen. Bye, everybody. Have a great day.